And so here's a new project. It was sent to us the whole engine, so we had to disassemble the head. Yes, it has Skunk2 tuner 2 cams or camshaft. So yes, it's gonna be pretty good. It also has a full Skunk2 valve train. So yep, this is pretty decent. Disassemble it so we can rework the head. Yes, and we'll discuss on why we're gonna change block because of the issues we found here. Yep, we're gonna check on that. We're gonna show you how we cut the manifold because last video someone said we didn't show how you cut the manifold. So we're gonna work on that. Yes, get the upgrades. So on this build series, this is episode 1, the start. We're gonna build it, tune it, and dyno it. Let's go! So here it is. The owner is from Iligan City, one of Zeph Wayne's friends. So I've been talking to him earlier, and he says, he's in the planning stages, but then suddenly he said his engine gave in. He has to send it for rebuild. So we thought it was like a cracked bore or something, but apparently it's a bad spun rod bearing. So we're gonna replace the block. So yes, here's the PO8 head. It's been ported by a previous shop, not them. They got this way. It has Skunk2 valve train, so it's pretty decent. This is the stuff that Zeph and his friends added, so it's all good. Yes, we disassemble it, get it ready. And here, someone on the previous video when reporting a Type R manifold said that we didn't show how we cut the manifold. I'm like, it's pretty boring and it's pretty standard, but hey, we gotta show it here because they asked for that, they wondered. So here it is, as you can see. And people think, we're doing this just for the DIY guys. Not really. We're actually doing this to show people what what it takes to work on an engine, so that when they go to a different shop, they don't get easily scammed. So here it is. Now we made a video of this. It's converted Type R manifold into the SOHC, and it's actually something that we did way back in 2005. But apparently that's because we didn't have enough sources, and of course before Skunk2 released their Skunk2 intake manifold with a longer runner, this was okay, but it was pretty bad because the runners are quite short. So they cut it over here just to make it, because they're trying to maintain the bolt or for the fuel rail. This is why we cut it on the edge here, because we use the D16Y8 intake manifold, because the fuel rail stud is bolted onto the flange, not on the runners. So anyways, here it is. It's cut open. Now we gotta solve this because it has a short runner, so we have to try to infuse a lot more taper than usual to try to band-aid or mask the problem. It's not going to be as good as a long runner, but it's going to be okay if we get the taper good enough. And if someone's going to ask how much taper, we need more than what it can give physically. So we're just going to get to the limit or get to the maximum before we punch a hole. Here we sawed off the plenum. We left a few bit there, so you have to pull it off. Yes, it's ported. And yes, before we port this, we're gonna show you. You gotta check this. I cleaned up the welds here, and before we port it, I was about to port this, but then I realized since they ported this, I'm gonna clean it up to show you guys to see what's up and see the work from the other shop. But hey, you need a favor. You gotta hit the like button, because the more likes the video gets, the more activity it shows the algorithm. It gets spread out to a wider audience. It helps the channel big time. I appreciate that. Okay, if you haven't, you gotta subscribe. This way you can check out all the other videos in your own free time whenever you log into YouTube, because you're subscribed. So hey, I'll see you guys in the community. All right. And for the hardcore, you got a members only here. You got to join the members only. We have over 30 videos of ultra technical stuff. It gets boring for the general audience, but for the hardcore enthusiasts, yeah, this is gonna be perfect for you. We got dyno tuning and actual tuning there, so we're working on more videos. All right, here's the manifold after cleaning it up. I started working on the runner number 2, as you can see there, but I stopped because I wanted to show you guys how this is done by another shop. And look, they just pointed the entry, not even the runner, so it's barely not doing anything. It's barely helping anything at all, right? But most importantly here, because I shared a real video on my page, on the SRD Motorsports page, and someone said this is how you not cut the manifold, like how we cut it on the flange. And this is cut like how most would do it, trying to avoid the cutting the throttle flange. And here, let me show you why we cut how we cut it, because if you cut it like that, avoiding to cut the throttle flange, look at this section here at runner number 4. Let me move it closer. Here, that's why I said, whenever you see a manifold is ported and didn't cut the throttle flange, this part here is going to be hard or near impossible to contour properly. And you can just run your finger over here. When you see a manifold, you don't have to open, you don't have to cut it up. Just run your finger over there and you will feel it, you'll see. And I'm sure they're going to say they get it so smooth enough, and well, it's physically impossible to get it smooth enough. So if that's smooth for them, we know how they are. All right. As here you can see, let me show you closer. So a lot of work needs to be done to this. You can barely see it's ported. They just ported the entry, and even the divider is not quite consistent. So there's the thing. So people would say they got a ported manifold, but for me, I'll just say, oh, okay, that's okay. But the question is, how was it ported? Ported doesn't mean it's already perfect. You know, who did it? So here, now we did a few more passes with a carbide on the entry in the first inch to infuse more taper. So now we're going with the 80 grit. Yes, we get it smooth. Okay, we speed it up. Yeah, so we did like the first half of the runner. We made a few passes with the carbide. Now we're going with the 80 grit, trying to infuse more taper consistently on all four. So here you can see we sprayed a bit there. So this is not even halfway through. This is like we're like 1/4 through the whole process. So we're just sharing this now. You can see we're trying to open it up good consistently. This and also solving all the bumps and ridges. Here we are. You can see there's still some course shift there on the sides, so we're still gotta work on that. But hey, it's slowly getting to the direction that we want. So we make a few more passes, and then here, after a few more passes, you can see now, it's still not yet done, but you know, you can see the difference after several passes. It's almost getting there, but we gotta continue with this. This is all 80 grit for now. And yes, now let me show you the angle on why we cut the throttle flange here. Let me clip the phone first. Here, see? If this flange is intact, there's no way we can smooth out the curve here towards the runner 4 entry. And I'm sure some would say that they can do it, you know, they can pour it smooth enough even without cutting the flange. It's physically not possible. So if they claim it's smooth, well, that's for them. We do it this way. This is our way. Let them do it how they do it. But hey, like I said, if you see a manifold for say like that, run your finger through that runner entry, you will see, you can feel it. There's a difference. Now here, after washing it up with water to show you better, oh, that, it's a lot better than how it was earlier, right? Anyways, so I'm not really fond of like comparing, like saying we're better than others, and like that's not our thing. So we're just sharing how we do it and what we do. So here we gotta make a few more passes on this, clean it up and get it finished. And yes, let's go to the head now. Here we're disassembling the valve springs and retainers, and of course the valves. We're gonna put it in order, get ready to clean it up. Here we start with the exhaust. Yes, we're gonna go with 80 grit first because this is already ported, so you know it's gonna be hopefully easier to remove the carbon dust. As you can see, you gotta wear a face mask here, guys. You gotta be careful. All right. The only issue I found with the head is that they cut off the valve guide. So for it may be okay, and for for an all-out thing or all-out performance, it's okay, but this is a street car. For durability and valve stability, we'd want the guide full length. So we're gonna have the valve guides replaced with a Supertech or Ferrea bronze guides. And so this is gonna be good. We're gonna show you that probably on the second episode when we get finished machining the head. And of course the triangle valve job and everything. Yep, see here we did the intake. It's about 80 grit first. Now we do the bowl. We start with the bowl with already 120 grit because we don't want to take off any more material. We don't want to over port this or hog this out. We can opt to go 80 grit, but it's gonna eat up a lot of material. So to minimize material removal, we went with 120 grit right away. Now here on the exhaust bowl. Yeah, you see that dust Gotta use face mask. In here, for now, we sprayed some degreaser on the chamber to help, remove or dislodge the carbon buildup. So we're gonna clean it up some more a little later. Now let's go to the pistons. Here, we recently acquired some P29 pistons. We're gonna balance it really close to one another, like within zero point 0.1 gram of each other. Yes, this is 2449 grams, so it's gonna be close. We're gonna make it all identical, and we get all identical. So here's the planned setup for the engine. Here, the Z6 or PO8 head is going to be fully ported and reworked by us. The Type R intake manifold is adapted to SOHC. We're going to be porting it as you saw. The Skunk2 valve train, P29 pistons. Yes, it's going to be having 12.7 strong compression. Here's the block that we got. Yes, it's getting shipped to us. So we're going to finish the engine. Of course, once we build it, tune it, we're going to dyno it. So yep, click here for the next one.